It is time for the Big Blue. Two of the biggest clubs in the A-League, no doubt. Melbourne Victory, Sydney FC meeting in what is round 16 of the A-League Men's 2024-25 season. Thanks for joining us here for our live watch-along. Going to be reacting to, I'm sure, all the craziness that we are about to see play out over the next couple of hours. It is always a dramatic matchup. These two teams met a little while ago, like a few weeks ago, like a month ago now. It wasn't that long ago. It was the back end of December when these two teams met. Of course, that red card to Zinedine Machash controversially in that game, and the Sky Blues getting the victory in the end. So Melbourne Victory looking to bounce back. There's a lot of things we have to talk about in regards to team news. The biggest one is probably Mitch Langerak being in ahead of Jack Duncan. Jack Duncan probably a little bit. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, Jack Duncan has been really, really good, I think, so far this season for Melbourne Victory. He's come in and done a really good job, but obviously he was aware that Mitch Langerak was going to be arriving halfway through the season. And Langerak is here, and there was a lot of conversation in terms of whether Duncan was going to hold his place or does Langerak just come straight in. But Langerak is indeed starting. Great to see everyone in the chat here. Leanne's already dropped a prediction to draw. Hello to the Gaming Bean. G'day to Nicholas in the chat. Says Sydney have no defense and goalkeeper. Well, I mean, especially when it comes to defense, Hayden Matthews. I mean, the big sort of news that we've seen over the past week, and it's been basically confirmed by Sydney FC that Hayden Matthews is currently discussing a deal with an overseas club. With all the reports going on online, that club is expected to be Portsmouth in the English Championship. So, yeah. Marcus here. Hey, Marcus, good to see you. Marcus says Alex Popovich set to sign a long-term contract at Sydney. Gutting to lose Matthews, but he is getting a record fee. Yeah, and look, it's awesome. Like, it's great to see Matthews, this guy who came through the setup at Sydney FC, sort of had a breakout season last year in the A-League, and this season became a regular starter for Sydney. And he secured an overseas move. And this is what we want for our young players in the A-League. We want to give these guys game time. Credit to Sydney FC for giving him, the opportunity last season, and he's developed a lot over the last 12 months. And he got a Socceroos call up as well. So it's been a great past year for Hayden Matthews, and he deserves his move. But yeah, I don't think anything official has been announced in regards to Popovich, but he does start tonight, Alex Popovich. And with that departure to Matthews, we know Popovich is in on loan. I'm sure they'll be eager to really to secure Popovich. That's for sure. That's for sure. Morning from the UK. Thanks for joining us all the way from the UK. Always great to see our international viewers. Gaming Bean says, already missed Matthews. He was my idol. He certainly was a fan favourite at Sydney FC. Sydney fans loved him. Not even 12 months. I mean, there you go, Marcus. You're right. You're right. He wasn't even in from the start of last year. From the start of last season, he sort of came in a fair way through the season, didn't he? And then this season, he was a real starter for them. So great move for Matthews. It's not official yet, but I'm sure will be announced in the coming days. We did have the announcement this past, was it yesterday? It was this week, Thomas Wadding securing his move to Portsmouth as well. So it continues this trend of Aussie players moving over to Portsmouth. Not just Aussie players, but players in the A-League as well. We've seen Sammy Silvera feature at Portsmouth. Of course, Cassini Yengi, who went from Wanderers to Portsmouth. Who else is, of course, Jacob Farrell of Central Coast Mariners moving to Portsmouth as well. Unfortunately, he struggled a bit with injury this season, but it's great to see there's been a real strong contingent of Aussies moving over to Portsmouth and the English Championship. It's great. It's great to see. G'day, Wolfie. Good to see you here. Hope you had a good week, Wolfie. Wolfie says, never been more nervous as a Sydney FC fan. This game can define our season now. Look, it is certainly a really, really big one in the context of the season. Yes, there's still a long, long way to go, but we will pull up the ladder because as it's standing at the moment, I mean, Sydney FC in this sort of precarious position right now. So here's the live A-League men's ladder. As you can see, the two teams just sort of on the edge there of the top six. Sydney FC in 5th, 21 points. Melbourne Victory have the game in hand. Okay, they have the game in hand of Sydney FC, just 2 points behind. A win here tonight for Melbourne Victory, that's a real boost for them. And of course, the big story for Melbourne Victory has been the fact that they have not won a game since Patrick Kisnorbo left the club. I mean, that's seriously concerning. Arthur Dillis came in and I thought that they were just going to sort of keep on going, in the way they had the great start to the season. They would have kept that going. Arthur Dillis, we wouldn't expect him to really shake too much up in terms of the way they were playing. He's tweaked a couple of things, especially in regards to personnel. He's brought maybe Bruno Fornaroli a little bit more back into the side. But they've been losing games, Melbourne Victory. They've seriously dropped down. They were at the start of the season under Patrick Isnorbo. They were up the top there. They were one of the top teams in the competition. They slipped outside of the top 6 as it stands right now. 5 wins, 4 draws, 4 losses. Their defensive record is still pretty good. They've only conceded 17 goals, which isn't terrible. But they haven't been winning games. They haven't been winning games. So tonight would be a great way to really sort of kickstart their season a little bit. Melbourne Victory. Not kickstart, but get it back on track. Get it back on track. They've already grabbed 5 wins this season, man. They are a strong team. Obviously, there's been some movement at Melbourne Victory. Jason Guerrier departing in recent weeks. So Josh Rawlins in again at right back as well. So a lot going on, especially in the transfer window. It's been a very busy past week in the transfer window in the A-League. So here we go. Marcus says, Lockie, come to the ACL first leg. We need the support. Tough game, but this is about the future of Oz football in Asia. Your Mariners are doing nothing to help the cause. Of course, Mariners very much struggling in the Asian Champions League unleashed, unfortunately, this season. Look, hey, Sydney FC taking on Bangkok United next month, the 2 legs of the round of 16 in the Asian Champions League 2. With Sydney FC will be looking at what Mariners did last season. They'll see the way that Mariners were able to just fly through the competition and perform really, really well. And, seeing another Australian side win the competition, they'll be backing themselves to do the same thing. They will be. And looking at the quality of the team, the quality in that Sydney FC team, I think they are capable of really going far in the knockout phase of that competition. I seriously think so. We saw the way Mariners did it, navigated the long travel. I mean, I remember when Mariners, what was it, Kyrgyzstan, I think, right? Mariners playing in Kyrgyzstan. I mean, just so much travel as well. So Sydney FC, I mean, Bangkok United is the first test. 2 legs, of course. 2 legs, but yeah. MacArthur take on Melbourne City tomorrow night. Won't be doing a live watch-along for that one, but certainly we'll be keeping an eye on it. But Owen, hope your Bulls go well in that game. MacArthur SC, Arif Piol has departed the club. That was announced this past week, heading over to the MLS. LFC, g'day, welcome. Says, unfortunately, I have little expectations for victory today. Yeah, look, I mean, Melbourne Victory, it's hard to know what we're going to get. It is hard to know what we're going to get because their form just hasn't been great. I mean, again, they're fielding a decent team. Let's flick back to those lineups again. And we can talk about sort of the lineup that Melbourne Victory are deploying. Especially in the wide positions, this is something that this is one of the areas of the pitch that Melbourne Victory have sort of been tweaking, trying to find the right setup, especially over the last few weeks, has been the wingers. So starting tonight for Melbourne Victory, these lineup graphics coming from Google's. That's Santos on the right-hand side, Volupile starting as well. So both Arzani and Piscopo are on the bench. Arzani and Piscopo have been featuring prominently this season so far. Piscopo was out last week due to injury, but Santos and Volupile are the players starting on the wings. Aside from that, pretty straightforward for Melbourne Victory. Nikos Virgos, though, does come in up top. That's worth mentioning. Ahead of Bruno Fornaroli. Bruno was getting some minutes from the start, but it is Virgos who comes in from the first minute. And, of course, as we mentioned earlier, Mitch Langerak, with his first start for Melbourne Victory in almost 15 years, which is pretty crazy. And of course, Sydney FC, we should talk about their lineup as well. Patrick Lamala, of course, leading the line. I know Caceres, he is out due to, I believe, his concussion protocol. So Wahid, Segicic, Lolly supporting Klamala in attack. Holman in centre playing that central midfield, defensive midfield partnership. And of course, we're talking about Matthews before. So Popovic starts at the back. Again, Ryan Grant playing a centre back role. This is a tweak that Ufuk Tale has made in the past few weeks. What do you guys make of it? Ryan Grant, who's been a mainstay at right back for Sydney FC for as long as we can remember. He has been playing in centre back for the last few games. I tell you what, that was maybe maybe the plan was for Ufuk Tale here. He was intentionally making a move with the idea that Matthews was going to depart in this transfer window. And he's decided to shift Grant into that position. Zach De Jesus getting another run from the start. Another big opportunity for the young defender. Devonish Mears, of course, again, starting ahead of Redmayne, which is the trend that we've seen so far this season. And Joel King starting at left back ahead of Courtney Perkins, which again surprises me a little bit. Jordan Courtney Perkins, I think, made a great start to the season. I don't know, Sydney fans can shed some more light on this. I'm surprised why he's been benched. He scored last week off the bench against Brisbane. Courtney Perkins, I rate him. I don't get why he's all of a sudden being dropped onto the bench. Yeah. Newey Jets, g'day, Newey. Hope you're doing well. Says, good evening. I've got Victory in this one, although surprised to see Arzani and Piscopo on the bench. I'm sure we'll certainly see them make an impact in the second half. Hello, Lucas. Welcome to the live chat. Lucas is predicting a 1-1 draw. I think I feel the same way, Lucas. A draw feels like it could be the outcome of this one. Says Sydney need Costa right now. Victory isn't the same as they were at the start of the season. Yep, spot on. This Victory team certainly not performing at the level that we did see at the start and the level that they were showing us in the Australia Cup as well. I mean, under Patrick Isnorbo, they got to the Australia Cup final, made a great start to the A-League season. He departs the club and they haven't won a game. So we were concerned, when the shock news came, over a month ago now that Kisnorbo was going to depart, there was some concern that maybe it would derail things a little bit. I was thinking that it wouldn't. I thought they might be all right, Melbourne Victory. They've got a strong squad with great depth, and after Dillis, the assistant, was taking over, not too much was going to change overall. But for whatever reason, they have just dropped in a level, and maybe the departure of Kisnorbo has affected things a little bit for Melbourne Victory. Kickoff for this game, not too far away. Appreciate you guys joining us for this live watch along. Hit the like button to support the channel. You can also consider sending in a super chat to support. All right. LFC says, I didn't realize Langerak was starting. Excited to see how he does. Yes, look, it's a lot of eyes on Langerak tonight. Not only, obviously, is it exciting for Melbourne Victory fans to have this guy who was part of the team, 15 years ago, back in the side after a fantastic career overseas. But there's a little bit of pressure on him because Arthur Dillis has made the big call to drop Jack Duncan to the bench and bring in Langerak. And Jack Duncan has been very, very good for Victory, I think, so far this season. Look, conceding 3 goals against Adelaide last week, but aside from that, he's made some phenomenal saves this season, and he's been very, very good, Jack Duncan. But I'll tell you what, when you got a former Socceroo like Mitch Langerak coming back to the club, wearing the number 1, you surely got to give him a run. Newey Jetsa says, I agree. Victory was so dangerous in the first few rounds. LFC also says that Kisnorbo departure certainly took a toll on the team. Lucas chiming in regards to Jordan Courtney Perkins, who's on the bench tonight, says, no, Courtney Perkins needs to be benched. I've watched him the entire season, has no impact in the attack. He usually just passes back to the centre backs and never even looks to the wingers for a pass. Joel King is starting at left back. We'll see what he provides in that position tonight. So plenty of high-profile players involved in this matchup. Adrian Segicic has been in very good form. I was at the game a few weeks ago, Sydney FC taking on Mariners, when Segicic came off the bench and scored a hat-trick. That was an incredible performance. He sort of, as a Mariners fan, he just sort of had to sit back and just applaud the guy because that was an unbelievable showing off the bench. And he gets another start tonight, Adrian Segicic. This is a young guy with enormous potential. And it's great to see him getting regular minutes now, especially in the start for Sydney FC. So, yes, Anas Wahim in as well for Anthony Caceres. And that's the thing. That's what these big teams have. That's why we talk about these clubs being big clubs, is because they have big squads and they have the quality to replace quality players. Caceres out due to concussion, but Anas Wahim, who was on the bench last week, comes in. It's a great guy to bring in and fill the gap. We'll see exactly, this graphic is coming from Google. We'll see exactly how that Sydney FC attack lines up. It may well be Segicic playing over on the left-hand side and Wahim more central. Sydney FC have played around with their setup going forward at times this season, but it should be the 4-2-3-1 as well. Marcus here says, not many people know this, but both Segicic's and Kaczarski's contracts are expiring We don't want to lose them for free. Yeah, look, especially with Segacic performing at the moment, you'd expect Sydney will be eager to offer a contract. So yeah, we'll see what happens in that department. Jay Kaczarski on the bench tonight again for Sydney. Limited minutes this campaign for Kaczarski, a guy who we know is very, very talented himself as well, but not too many minutes. Of course, we've seen a few players depart Sydney FC as well. Patrick Wood out on loan to Perth Glory, which I think is a move that makes sense for Sydney and for Patrick Wood. Nathan Amanatides, young winger, has also departed Sydney FC. He's joined Brisbane Roar. Of course, the one new player here for Sydney FC on the bench again, Josh Sotirio is there. Sotirio made his first appearance for Sydney FC last week. Former Western Sydney Wanderer, of course, as well. So look, I mean, looking at the benches, this is actually quite interesting to look at, isn't it? Because we've got it's sort of two quite contrasting benches. You'd probably say, hey, you've got Melbourne Victory, who have the quality and experience of Adama Traore, Daniel Arzani, who is very experienced, Bruno Fornaroli, of course. And then you've got Sydney FC, who've got some, real youthful talent there. Tiago Quintal, Jade Kaczarski, of course. Lacey's there on the bench, another young player as well. Very much a youthful bench there for Sydney FC. So it is Victory, who maybe just have maybe that little bit more quality on the bench than on Victory. I mean, nothing against the players that Sydney FC have on the bench. Those guys can certainly make an impact. But those benches may well have a part to play in this game, especially if this game is level heading into the second period. Keep an eye on these guys, Reno Piscopo, Daniel Arzani, capable of tearing apart a defense. So that may well be what we see today. The two teams are in the tunnel right now. Friday night football in the A-League men's. Of course, the Big Blue was also played in the A-League women's competition just prior to this one. Melbourne Victory defeating Sydney FC in that one. Another loss for Sydney. Just an incredible A-League women's season we are seeing unfold. Sydney FC, who have been so dominant for so many years in the A-League women's, currently struggling towards the bottom of the ladder. Here come the teams out of the tunnel at Amy Park. Looks like pretty decent weather in Melbourne, man. Of course, a lot of focus on Melbourne at the moment with the Australian Open tennis tournament happening right now. The men's semi-finals also tonight, of course. All right. The two blue kits, of course, as well. The sky blue of Sydney FC and the navy blue of Melbourne Victory. This has been it's one of the oldest rivalries, of course, in this competition. Two of the biggest teams in the A-League. And it was funny. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was the A-League. I think it was on the A-League social pages they put out. They were asking the question, which is the bigger club, Melbourne Victory or Sydney FC? It's a big question. Big question. Who is the bigger club? I mean, I'm asking you guys now too. I mean, who would you say is the bigger club out of the two? Melbourne Victory, Sydney FC. You've got two teams who have won a great number of trophies over the years. Sydney FC do lead the way when it comes to A-League trophies. Melbourne Victory, their last A-League trophy came all the way back in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, the 2018 championship did go to Melbourne Victory. Sydney FC, when was their last trophy? Now I'm testing myself. It must have been 2020, if I'm not mistaken, against Melbourne City. 2020, right? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. That was Sydney FC's last A-League trophy, I should say. Of course, Sydney FC did win the Australia Cup in 2023. Melbourne Victory won the Australia Cup in 2021. I'm testing my knowledge here. You guys can correct me. Sydney FC, Marcus, of course, Sydney FC fan, does say Sydney FC are bigger. Trophies, marquees, yes. I mean, Sydney FC have had some of the biggest players to ever play in the A-League. Melbourne Victory have had some huge names at their club as well, of course. But yeah, you might say that Sydney FC edge it in that fact. In that area. I tell you what, I mean, Melbourne Victory have had great crowd numbers for a long time and a great membership base. So I don't know what it is this season, but if Melbourne Victory's membership base is bigger than Sydney FC's, I think it may well be. But hey, the great thing is that we have these two, huge cities in Australia with two huge clubs who do pretty well in most aspects. Obviously, want to be doing better when it comes to performing on the field. These two teams have maybe had some mixed form over the last few years. We've seen Melbourne Victory struggle at times over the last few years. they've sort of got things back on track now. Melbourne Victory, they're a real competitive team in the last couple of seasons. Sydney FC have struggled for inconsistency a little bit over the last few years. So, yeah. Kickoff not too far away. Keep an eye on Joe Lolly, of course, tonight. This guy's been unreal this season. And we know he's a fantastic player, Joe Lolly, but this is a guy who is sort of going to another level this season. I mean, we think back to that hat-trick against Perth Glory not too long ago. What a player, Joe Lolly. And as the national anthem rings out at Amy Park, Joe Lolly's a guy who certainly Melbourne Victory will have to keep quiet, and it's going to be really interesting, especially looking at Melbourne Victory's like left-hand side. You've got a fantastic young left back in Geordie Boss who loves getting forward, loves contributing to the attack. That might be a dangerous sort of area there for Melbourne Victory if Boss is getting forward on the counter attack. Joe Lolly on that right-hand side for Sydney might look to exploit the spaces vacated by left back. Sorry, was I saying Geordie Boss? Casey Boss, of course. Brother of Socceroo Geordie Boss. So keep an eye on that, Joel. That'll be one to keep an eye on. And I'm sure instruction will be, given to Joe Lolly to really, as soon as Sydney FC win the ball, go. Get high up the pitch, stay wide, exploit those gaps as well. G'day to TJ Penno. Good evening. Welcome. Great to see you all here for this live watch along. The Big Blue. Let's take another glance at the ladder, how it stands right now as we head into this match. Sydney FC 5th, Melbourne Victory 7th, a win for Melbourne Victory, and they return to the top 6 ahead of Sydney. Of course, Victory still have the game in hand on Sydney and on Macarthur and Western as well. So, Victory. A win here tonight. Great. They really need it, don't they? They really need it with how their form has been in recent weeks. They have not won since Patrick Kisnorbo left the club. Can they finally get things back on track? Arthur Dillis, a lot of pressure on him now. As the season goes on, there is pressure already building on Arthur Dillis, who was the assistant, took over now, and this Victory team needs to be playing finals. Victory have the strongest squad depth in the league by far for me. They have to be playing finals. So anything outside the top 6 is simply unacceptable for Melbourne Victory, that is for sure. Wolfie says both teams need to win. Yeah, look, Sydney FC, a win for them, and that certainly sort of, keeps them in touch with sort of that top 4 who are almost starting to break away now. Melbourne City and West United, 3 points clear of Sydney FC. Of course, a real disappointing, we should say last week, both these teams losing. Of course, Victory losing to Adelaide in the original rivalry, which is always going to be a tough one away to Adelaide, who are top of the table. Sydney FC, that shock loss last week to Brisbane Roar, really need to bounce back. It's worth mentioning. Yeah, it is worth mentioning. That was a real shocker for Sydney, losing 4-3 at home to last place Brisbane Roar. That was Brisbane's first win of the season. That was an unacceptable result for Sydney FC, man. Ufuk Tally was not happy. We saw his reactions during that game. Was not happy with his team. Hey? All right, here we go. Oh, Just Wild. Interesting question. Who's the best player you've seen live in person? That was the best player I've seen live in person. Interesting question. I'm racking my brain. I did see Tottenham when they came over to play a pre-season friendly match against Sydney FC, and this was way back. And I think Harry Kane featured, so I'd probably got to say him. I think Harry Kane played that. This was like 10 years ago or something. It's probably him in terms of like who I've seen in person in real life. All right, g'day Timmy, welcome as well. Timmy says Adelaide still leading the way. Victory will hit form now. This will be a great time to get their season back on track. Melbourne Victory here in the original rivalry, set for kickoff. Here we go. Decent crowds in Amy Park. Of course, there'll be a strong contingent of Sydney FC supporters at this one. Here we go. Thanks for joining us for our live watch along tonight. And we are underway at Amy Park. First half in the Big Blue. Who's winning? Let us know in the comments in the live chat. We were live just a couple of days ago for the top of the table clash between Adelaide and Auckland, and what a game that was. For those of you who joined us a couple nights ago, one of the games of the season, 2-2 between the top two sides, two late goals, and plenty of controversy as well. And tell you what, there's usually a lot of drama when these two teams face as well. Having a look at the setup here for both two teams, does look like Segacic is over on that left-hand side. But we may well see these guys as attackers for Sydney rotate throughout the game as well. G'day, Sam. Good to see you here. Hope you had a good week. Sam says, you got to feel for Jack Duncan right now, as he's probs been Victory's most consistent player all season. That's a fair take. But it was inevitable that he was going to that he would drop to the bench. But it does suck as he's played well. Yeah, absolutely. Like you got to feel for him. You got to feel for Jack Duncan in a really tricky position where he's playing so well, and he's aware that Langerak, this former Socceroo goalkeeper, set to arrive at the club. Is Langerak a little bit late on the clearance there, and he did clip a Sydney FC player. But yeah, Langerak in starting his first A-League game in a long time, over a decade. Victory have a strong bench, says TJ Peno. Yeah, indeed they do. Indeed they do. Plenty of quality on the bench. The likes of Alzani, Piscopo. And here's Victory in behind. Oh, great chance for Lupulay. Surely the deflection takes it wide. And that's great defending, Ryan Grant. Great defending. Good football from both teams. The setup play there from Victory was nice. Machash to Burgos. Finding the space. The Jesus caught out there, perhaps. Lupulay on that left-hand side. Great opportunity. Victory corner. Teague's delivery is good. Somehow doesn't get the contact. Great opportunity. Not too far away for Melbourne Victory. Looking to make an early right start in this game. Welcome to our live watch along if you're just tuning in. The Big Blue, one of the biggest fixtures in the A-League calendar. Hit the like button to support the channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in, man. Melbourne Victory. They can when they're in the mood, Melbourne Victory. When they're going, when they're clicking in attack, they are hard to stop. We have seen that throughout the season. Look at that away bay in the that right-hand corner, bottom right-hand corner of the stand. Sydney FC fans are packed into that corner. Great to see. One of the strongest fan bases in terms of numbers in the competition. Marcus asks, where do you think Degenek will go? It's a great question because there has been the chat around Milos Degenek. You know, some rumors circulating and reports that maybe he could be interested. Oh, here's a chance. We'll come back to that. Klamala in behind. Klamala denied by Langerak. And it's gone the other way, and play's been stopped now. Patrick Klamala was in behind. Victory players thought it was off. Was it offside? It was offside. Okay, the flag is up. The flag is up. But Klamala was in behind. Of course, the assistants are instructed to leave the flag down. I'll tell you what, it was close. It was close. If Klamala scored there, VAR may well have had to intervene. But Klamala, very close there. Couldn't quite get the shot away, though, hey? Let's go back to Marcus's question. Marcus asked, where do you think Degenek will go? It's a great question. Hey, we'd love to see Degenek in the A-League. There has been some rumours circulated that A-League clubs are interested in Degenek. Wanderers was one we heard a couple weeks ago. Melbourne Victory, I think we've heard, maybe interested in Degenek as well. He could well remain in Europe. We'll see. I mean, he's played in the MLS before as well. I reckon Degenek may well stay in Europe. I think that might be what happens. But hey, that'd be a great pickup for any A-League club. Any A-League club. Timmy says a knee injury kept Kuol out for the majority of the first half of the season, but opened his scoring account for the club at under 21 level. at Southampton last week before adding to that with a goal. Garen Kowal, I mean, he's a player who, I mean, I haven't seen any word that any rumours or anything that, you know, his A-League clubs would be keen to bring him in. But I'm sure A-League clubs would love to bring in someone like Garen Kowal. But we wish him all the best. We hope he does well the second half of this season. Garen Kowal, this is a guy with enormous potential. Still have a lot of high hopes for Garen Kowal. A lot of people sort of questioning sort of the move. Maybe he made it too early and stuff. Look, I think he deserved the move. He's at a big club, you know, Newcastle United, top team in the Premier League. One of the top teams in the Premier League at the moment. Great chance of victory for Lupoli. To Jesus, crucial block. Great opportunity again for Velupoli. Sydney FC come the other way. But yeah, man, Garen Kowal. We'll see where he ends up. Maybe he heads out on loan. We'll keep an eye on it. G'day, Roadflog. If Balotelli does come to Australia, which club would he go to, do you reckon? Well, honestly, a club that would like need someone like a striker like Balotelli is probably Melbourne City. Victory and Sydney, the two sort of biggest clubs, as Machash fires wide. The two, I guess, biggest clubs, if we're labeling them as the biggest club in the country, which they probably are. Their strikers' situation is settled. Victory have Virgos and Fornaroli and Reese, and Sydney have Klamala and Kacharsky on the bench, Sotirio. So you look at Melbourne City, and obviously they've had injury woes. No Naboot, Tilio's expected to return this weekend, but no Naboot, no Caputo so far this season. Since McLaren left, you know, they haven't really got that star striker at the moment in Melbourne City. So if Balotelli did come to the A-League, which, hey, we'll see if it happens. It'd be cool. It'd be fun, obviously. My feeling is Melbourne City. You know, we'll see. We'll see. Sydney looking shaky, says Wolfie. I mean, a couple little moments, hey, where they're caught out of the back. Michel Velupoli with 2 efforts. Too far away as Joel King. Here's a good chance for Sydney. King. That's a smart pass. Waheem looking through for Segicic, who tees it up for Klamala, and Sydney FC score. But the flag is up. But that was good play. VAR will have a look at it, but Segicic did look off. Here's the replay. Segicic, yeah, well offside. But that was good. The pass from King was smart. He didn't just swing it into the box. He saw the run from Waheem, edge of the penalty area, through for Segicic, and that was a great square ball for Klamala. There you go. These two teams just showing little, you know, nice little moments in attack already. Nice. Klamala. Yeah, I mean, look, if Klamala, if he continues to perform well the second half of the season, I'm sure Sydney will be eager to lock him down again for another year. Marcus says Sotirio contract expiring too. Yeah, I get the sense that Sotirio, like, that may well just be for the rest of the season. I think Sydney are hoping that Patrick Wood gets some decent game time over at Perth Glory, continues to develop, and then who knows, maybe Patrick Wood will be the new go-to striker at Sydney next season. Maybe Sydney FC thinking long term. Just Wild says, I love how attacking this league is. Melbourne Victory looking to get forward on that attack. Santos on the right, the Brazilian with another start on that right flank. The Chash delivers a bit too heavy on the ball. The delivery. Mitch Glasson, yeah, it's another one. He's out on loan, isn't he? Yeah. So we are just about 10 minutes into this big blue. Melbourne Victory 0, Sydney FC 0. Victory with a couple opportunities through Nishan Velupoli. Sydney FC, well, they put the ball in the back of the net, but it was offside. Crowd looking pretty strong for this one. Amy Park, big blue. Of course, these two teams met just a month ago. Sydney FC 3, Melbourne Victory 0 on that occasion. Of course, the red card to Victory's Zinedine Machash, which certainly impacted that game, man. I think that played a huge, huge factor in the result of that game. Machash being sent off, which was a controversial one. A lot of people thought it shouldn't have been a red. Machash has already been involved so far tonight. Huge weekend of A-League action coming up as well. Wellington Phoenix hosting Mariners tomorrow. Newcastle Jets at home against Perth Glory. Jets looking for their first home win of the season. Also got MacArthur SC playing Melbourne City. And then the Sunday fixture this weekend, Western Sydney Wanderers will host Auckland FC for the first time ever in a competitive fixture. That'll be interesting. Western Sydney Wanderers really struggling for consistency and coming up against one of the top teams in the comp, Auckland FC, who had that dramatic late equaliser away to Adelaide on Wednesday. Shout out from South Africa. Welcome, Zane, from South Africa. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Only Edits. G'day. Says, I was going to say City, perfect replacement for McLaren. Of course, referring to Balotelli, I assume you're talking about. Also played for Man City. He's also rumoured for Central Coast Mariners, but I would see him go to Melbourne City. I'd be very surprised if he joined Mariners. I'd love it. It'd be cool. But yeah. It would be cool. 0-0 after 12 minutes in the Big Blue. Marcus asks, what happened to Ozwatch Football? Yeah, look, hey, we tried something with experimenting with the channel. And it's always fun to experiment. I decided to revert back to Coastwatch Football in the end. It just felt like the right move. Keep everything in one place. Sydney FC looking to make a breakthrough early on here on the attack. Another victory. Been a little bit shaky in defence in recent weeks as Corey Holman can't control his effort on goal. We've seen some mistakes. I remember the Victory Wanderers game a couple weeks ago, that crazy back pass from Miranda, which was called out by Wanderers in that game. Some uncharacteristic defensive errors, and Mitch Langerak would love to mark his return to the A-League with a clean sheet here in a Big Blue. I saw some stat. I think this came from, I believe it was Justin Tigner on X who posted about it, saying something like Mitch Langerak's last 5 games for Victory. Of course, he hadn't played a game for Victory. His last game was 2010. Last 5 games, including this one, have been against Sydney FC, which was apparently round 27 in round 27 back in season 2009-10. The 2 semi-finals and the grand final itself. It was Langerak's last game for Melbourne Victory, the 2010 A-League grand final. Which Melbourne Victory won that, right? My memory serves me correctly. Just Wild, who's tuning in from the UK, says, how well regarded is Harry Kewell over in Australia? The only Aussie player I have affinity towards. I think he's regarded as one of Australia's all-time greatest players. Yeah, I think so. I mean, one of my earliest memories as a young football fan was Harry Kewell scoring the equaliser against Croatia in the 2006 World Cup. Great memory for Australian football fans. Great chance here for Santos, who's in behind. Devonish Mears out to meet it. Great save by the Sky Blues keeper. Great save. That is important. Great play, Victory. Machash going forward. Oh, I tell you what, may have just been offside. May have just been offside there, but didn't matter anyway. The save was made. But Victory again showing how dangerous they are going forward. Santos with the pace. Machash with the through ball. That's what Victory are capable of, and that's what Sydney FC have to be wary of at the back. This sort of new, you don't want to say new look Sydney FC backline, but the combination of players at the back is an interesting one for Sydney FC. Joel King at left back, Popovic and Ryan Grant, centre back partnership tonight for Sydney FC. The young Zach De Jesus at right back, of course, Devonish Mears in goals again tonight for Sydney. Big call from Sydney FC head coach Ufuk Talay to bring in Devonish Mears in the starting 11 in recent weeks ahead of the experienced Andrew Redmayne. I don't mind it, though. Devonish Mears has had some good performances. But Andrew Redmayne, this is a trend that we have seen this season in the A-League, where keepers have been swapped out. Some of the starting keepers from recent years have been dropped. Jamie Young has been on the bench this season at Melbourne City. Matt Sutton getting it. Oh, sorry, not Matt Sutton. That's Western United. Patrick Beach getting the starting run at Melbourne City, but we've seen it at a number of clubs. Even at Wellington recently, Albie Kelly-Heald coming in for Oluwayemi. Perth Glory have rotated their goalkeepers with Ollie Sale and Cameron Cook. Even at Central Coast Mariners, I don't think Dylan Parage-Cullen expected to be the starting goalkeeper heading into this A-League season. But we have seen a lot of rotation in regards to goalkeepers this year in the A-League, which is interesting. I don't know, what has sparked that trend, but a lot of clubs have really rotated their goalkeepers around. Hey, I have. Marcus, I believe Marcus is correcting me. Thank you for correcting me, Marcus. It was Sydney who won that grand final in 2010. Long time ago now. 15 years ago. 2010. 15 years. 15 years this year since the 2010 World Cup. How about that? Here comes Victor in the attack. Rawlins for Machash looking for a route forward. Valadon just ran into traffic. Fallon Klamala. Teague going forward. Ryan Teague. Nice play, Victory. Teague sends it in. There's Santos, but that's a crucial intervention from King. Joel King. Saw a report online. I'm not sure if it's a rumor or whatever, but there's some chat that Ryan Teague might be interested in featuring for China as his national team. Playing for the Chinese national team. Which is an interesting one. We have seen Ryan Teague play at under 23 level for Australia. Ryan Teague probably not too far away from a Socceroos call-up if he does want to represent Australia. Timmy asking in regards to Garen Kowal here. I'm going to take a chance on him for the under-21s, get him a move for next season, surely. With how high profile his move to Newcastle was, there are still clubs tracking a player who would be willing to take a chance on him, asks Timmy. Garen Kowal, yeah, look, hey, I'm sure any A-League club would be keen to bring Garen Kowal, but I wouldn't be surprised if he moves to maybe another league in Europe. We did see Nesri Irinkunda make a move to Switzerland, I believe. It was Switzerland, wasn't it? Maybe Garen Kowal could end up in a similar sort of league. That might be the way. That is right. Balotelli might join the A-League. I mean, we'll see if it comes off. It might not happen until next season, but yeah, it's an interesting one. Long ball for Popovic. It's a nice one too, because Lolly's going to get on the end of it. Lolly be boss. Sydney FC looking to create an opportunity. They haven't really had many in the opening 20 minutes of this big blue contest. Lolly's cross, though, is not bad. And King almost got on the end of it. Rawlins let it slide past. But Joel King was ghosting in. Not too far away. Beautiful weather in Melbourne by the looks of things. Cracking weather. Shots at goal. On the broadcast, the stats, 6 for Victory, 0 for Sydney. I mean, I don't know whether you'd count Corey Holman's lobbed effort earlier on. But there you go. Victory. Clearly with an intent to attack. You can see as soon as they win the ball, Victory, how quickly they spring forward. A real feature of their play, isn't it? Especially with the pace they have, man. They're dangerous. Here's Waheem. Great covering. That's good defending. That's good defending from Captain Roderick Miranda, because Waheem was flying away there. Showing a replay of Ryan Grant, who just sort of kicking the ball out from underneath Nikos Virgos there. Nothing too dangerous going on. Of course, no Hayden Matthews in the lineup for Sydney FC tonight, who is overseas. Judging by the reports, close to sealing a move to English Championship club Portsmouth, which would be an exciting move for the young defender. Sky Blues. Nice little passage of possession here for Sydney. Let's see if they can make something happen from it. The answer is no, they cannot. And Victory win a free kick. G'day, Bertrand. Is the game on Paramount? Yes, it is. Paramount Plus. In Australia, the game is available to watch on Paramount Plus. Wolfie asks, what's the reason why Sydney FC haven't signed a defender, knowing their defensive issues? Yeah, I mean, the transfer window still has a few weeks to go, so we may well see some movement, especially with Hayden Matthews, his departure imminent. So, yeah. Yellow card for Klamala. Yellow card for Klamala. Did he delay the restart of the game there? That's what I assume. But yeah, we'll certainly keep an eye on it. I'd expect them to bring someone in, Sydney FC, especially if Matthews does secure that move. Victory, front foot. They've looked dangerous in the opening 22 minutes. Melbourne Victory. Buildup, little pocket of space. Strong numbers in the Cove, man. It's great to see. Look how many Sydney FC supporters are in that corner. It's awesome. Nishan Velupale has been busy, hey, hasn't he? Yeah, opening 24 minutes. Looking to find those little pockets of space. This is a guy who I'm sure is very keen to try and stay in the Socceroos setup. Of course, huge highlight for Nishan Velupale last year, scoring on his... Oh, it's a goal! What a goal! Nikos Virgos opens the scoring in the Big Blue with a delightful near-post header from the corner. 1-0 to Victory. 1-0. And it is Virgos. Nikos Virgos, the striker from Greece. And the Victory fans celebrate. What a goal, dude. What a nice goal. The header, delightful. The corner from Teague. And that, dude, what a header. What a header off the woodwork and in. So, I mean, Devonish Mears, so hard to stop that one, man. Virgos, the placement was perfect. The leap, the direction off the crossbar. That is a great header. Sydney FC, where is the defense at the near post? That is surely, I mean, it's just way too easy for Virgos. The way he leapt up basically completely unchallenged there and was able to put it home. And Nikos Virgos back in the starting lineup after featuring on the bench more so recently. And he scores after 25 minutes in the Big Blue. Great goal. Great goal. TJ says Victory are hitting form now. Great header, says LFC. Indeed. Indeed. 1-0 to Melbourne Victory. It's been coming too. They've made a good start to this season. Sorry, to this game. They've made a great start to this game. Made some good opportunities, and it's from the set piece that the goal has arrived. And again, Sydney FC not dealing with the corner. We saw it last week. That fourth goal for Brisbane, Lucas Harrington scoring. Not even with a head, with his foot in the box. It's defending from Sydney FC has been below par. And literally just before that goal, we were talking in the live chat, weren't we? About Sydney FC and their defensive issues. And it was Wolfie, right, who asked about why Sydney FC haven't, made any defensive signings yet in this transfer window. I mean, it's really poor defending. Have to do better in that near post there. Too easy for Virgos to get up and head that one home, and it's 1-0. 1-0. Doug Buller asks, do you think City need to sign replacements for the injured? Some players have recovered, though. Lecky, Tillio, Shillington. In terms of injured players, I mean, Nabut's the one who's going to be out for, I believe he's out for the whole season, right? It's a long-term injury. Max Caputo, I don't think he's out. He should be returning soon enough, I think. I'd expect Max Caputo. I think that's what we've heard. So, look, there might not be too much concern for them to, they might not race to sign many players. And the big reason for that, I think, is the young guys who've come in have done a very good job. Like, despite the injuries, that's been one of the incredible things this season. Melbourne City, really a Vidmar deserves a lot of credit because he's managed to. We're going to come back to that because that's a penalty. Is that a penalty? Oh, it's a penalty. Anas Wahim tripped up in the box, but it's one of these weird ones where Miranda, it's just like coming together. I mean, Miranda, they're showing us in the replays, Miranda, that's not a penalty. It's not a penalty, dude. Anas Wahim trips over his own feet. Surely, right? Dude, that's almost a dive. I think Anas, I'm just going to say, look, Anas Wahim, fantastic player. What a footballer. I think he may have intentionally clipped his feet together there. I think Anas Wahim was intentionally clipped his feet together there. That is not a penalty. That is not a penalty. LFC says he tripped. Clear foul, says Marcus. You reckon? Dude, I saw no contact at all. Was there any contact? I didn't see any contact from Miranda. But all I saw there was Wahim tripping over his own feet. That can't be a penalty. The VAR needs to be brought in for clear and obvious errors. That's a clear and obvious error. For me, there is no contact there. And VAR is going to be used here. Wow. Now, this is interesting. So, and look, I don't understand this as well. So Lachlan Key is referee. The penalty has been overruled here. No penalty. No penalty. Sydney FC players aren't happy. For me, it's obvious. But why doesn't Lachlan Keevers get asked to come over to the monitor? Maybe because it's just so clear and obvious. I mean, they're showing the replay. There is no contact, right? Oh, there is that slight bit of contact. They showed the freeze frame where Wahim's foot maybe just slightly clips the shin of Miranda. There's one little, there's one. I'll tell you what, there's one tiny bit of contact there. There's one tiny piece of contact there. It's going to be a free kick. Okay, I think I see what's happening here. LFC says doesn't look like there's any contact. There may have just been that one little nick. But regardless of that, it's a free kick. VAR determined that the contact was outside the box. And I tell you what, that contact was outside the box. The free kick has been blocked by the wall twice. Jesus. Poor delivery. Here come victory. Wow. Controversial moment after half an hour in the Big Blue. Sydney FC. Penalty overruled. Correct decision in the end. Look, there was maybe just that slightest bit of contact. But that contact certainly came outside the box. So It's a, at least a free kick. Nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. As Dogballer says here, is it enough to be a foul? And this is the question that we were asking ourselves 48 hours ago. A lot of you guys were here for our live watch along for Adelaide v Auckland. Crazy game. And the incident involving Yaya Dukuli and Callan Elliott, where Dukuli grabbed a little bit of the shirt of Elliott. A little bit of the shirt, but was it enough to be a foul is the question. Was it enough? There was the shirt grab, but it was extremely brief in my eyes. So that was a tricky one. So, yeah. Sydney FC looking to get forward here, looking to create some opportunities. They are losing here. They are down. And, of course, we should not forget this is an important game here. Win for victory. And they return to the top 6 ahead of Sydney FC. This could be a real big result, this game. Come the end of the season, these two teams very close to each other on the ladder as it stands. Very close. Free kick out wide for Sydney FC as they look to create another effort on goal. They haven't really had many. They haven't had many shots after half an hour. It's been victory. We've been looking stronger. Lollies, it's too deep. That's way too deep. Easy claim for Langerak. An uncharacteristically poor delivery there from Joe Lolly. He was looking for that late run. Ryan Grant was flying in at the fast post, but I'm going to him. Marcus says, missing the creativity of Caceres and Costa. I mean, I'm sure they would love both of those guys in the lineup, but hey, they've got 3 very creative players there, don't they, Marcus? I mean, Waheem, Segicic, Lolly, all capable of setting things up. Got to try and get those guys on the ball a little bit more. Here's Waheem. Nice throw. A nice release. That's good play here by Sydney. The cross comes in, and that's good defending by Brendan Hamill, who's been very good this season for victory. It's out for a corner. This is an interesting battle here. Klamala up against these 2 defenders. Hamill and Miranda. Klamala was trying to win the foot race there, but great intervention by Brendan Hamill. Waheem, short corner. Centre. Nice play. Waheem in the box. Great chance. Klamala goes backwards to absolutely no one. Oh, well, that is... Oh, my goodness. That's a disaster. Oh, heavy challenge on the sideline. Teague has been wiped out. Free kick. De Jesus sent Teague flipping off the field. This challenge. De Jesus just flying in and Teague was flying. Anyway. Victory. Survived there at the back. An intriguing game up to this point. Hey, Sydney FC testing victory a little bit now after going down. Victory happy to sit back maybe a little bit deeper now that they have the lead. Only Edit says, asks, what do you think of someone like Alexis Sanchez joining the league? He could join a team like Western United. Hey, we would love to have former Arsenal, Inter Milan, Manchester United player, and of course Chilean international Alexis Sanchez in the A-League. That'd be a great signing. Great signing, a player who has had a super career. That'd be a great signing. Western United, I mean, that would be a huge signing for them. Obviously, they've had a big name player in Alessandro Diamanti at the club previously. Sanchez at Western, wouldn't that be fun? Ten minutes remaining in this first half of the Big Blue. 1-0 to Melbourne victory. If you're just tuning in, thanks for joining us for our live A-League watch-along here. Melbourne victory, Sydney FC, 2 of the biggest clubs in the league, no doubt. No doubt about it. Since victory took the lead, Sydney FC have had some more time on the ball. victory. Oh, here's another chance for them, though. Valupale forward for Valadon. De Jesus is out of position again. Valadon from range. Oh, that's a great save. That's a great save, Devon Nishmirs. Diving save. Spectacular. Good effort. Good effort, Valadon. Now it's curling in. Wow. Very important save there. Very important save. Do not want to go 2 goals down in this first half. That is danger signs for Sydney. Jordan Valadon, he hasn't scored many A-League goals. Scored a cracker. Scored a cracker in the Australia Cup semi-finals last year against Adelaide from outside the box. TJ Pennis says Sydney never recovered since the departure of Graham Arnold. I don't know. I mean, they've literally won trophies since then, haven't they? I did win trophies with Steve Corica, 2019 A-League Grand Final, 2020 Grand Final as well. So I do think Steve Corica did do a decent job. Klamala shoots wide. Don't mind that effort from Klamala, though. Not going to go early. Dog Baller says, let's go, Mehmedi. Your call up to the under-20s Socceroos. Yeah, under-20 Aussie squad looking very strong. Plenty of A-League players. That squad was named today for the Asian Cup under-20s. Very strong team. Yes, Lee Broxham did retire at the end of last season. Melbourne Victory legend. Langerak going long here, looking for Virgos. Find him. Of course, second half. Looking at the benches, Victory, as we've said earlier, with plenty of quality on the bench, might play a big role in the second half. Sydney FC, if they're still trailing in the second period, they're going to be looking to the likes of Jed Gacharski, maybe Josh Sotirio, Thiago Quintal, trying something different perhaps. Leo Senna, great pass forward into the path of King. King cross. That's a good claim. That's confident from Langerak, showing his experience there. Diving out to claim that one. That's right, TJ Penno. The Mighty Mariners, the tiniest club with the biggest heart, Asian Cup champions. Of course, the AFC Cup, as it was known last year, coming to the Mariners. Historic year for the club. Only Edit says, can't believe Popovich said doing one good dribble and a pass isn't enough. Great chance here for Sydney. Klamala. So close. It'll be a corner for Sydney. Good opportunity. Only Edit says, can't believe Popovich said, I believe that is Tony Popovich, Socceroos head coach, said doing one good dribble and pass isn't enough. Has to do more about Arzani. And playing minutes isn't enough about Ihukunda, which other players can do more. Do you think Young will retire at the end of the season? Jamie Young? It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. Jamie Young sitting on the bench at the moment at Melbourne City. Letting Patrick Beach start at the moment. Waheem's corner. Oh, there's a coming together in the box. Dude, are their laces tangled up? What's happened here? They almost got tangled up there. Geordie Boss, sorry, Casey Boss. I keep calling him Geordie Boss, man. The brothers, Casey Boss and Langerak. A little bit of a tangle in the box. G'day, Dom. Hope you're doing well, mate. This evening, everyone. Cracking game we have in our hands. Indeed. Victory with the lead, but Sydney getting closer here. Redmayne too. In terms of we were talking about retiring. Andrew Redmayne, I feel like he's still got maybe a few more years to go in the A-League. Final 5 minutes of this first half. Victory with a 1-goal lead. But Chash's deliveries cleared away. So Victory have certainly dropped off a little bit since taking the lead, but they have been eager to go on the counter-attack when as soon as they win the ball. What has Sydney got, dude? Sydney would love an equaliser before the break. They would love to get back on level terms here. Because you get the sense if Victory were to go 2 goals up, that might be enough. That might be enough. Although we did see a little mini comeback from Sydney last week, despite that loss to Brisbane. A couple late goals. Scored a few late goals against Mariners a few weeks ago as well. Good build-up from Sydney. De Jesus' cross isn't great. You can see the players here that Sydney committing forward, especially those fullbacks, King and De Jesus, getting really high up the park. That's how they like to play, Sydney. Getting those numbers forward. Leo center's caught in it, though. Here come Victory. Teague, Valadon, smart passing play. Machash, great runner of the ball, great dribbler, man. Machash to Virgos. Now Vulupale. Danger signs here, man, for Sydney. Danger signs. Victory happy to slow it down now, though. Sydney very predictable, says Timmy. G'day, Zane. Welcome to the live chat. Zane says, come on, Lolly. As Timmy says here, Victory really dominating. Well, they're doing a good job defensively, aren't they? Nullifying Sydney when they get forward, mostly. Yeah, good job. Josh Rawlins just copping a little stray elbow there in the back of their head. Zane points out as well, so Sydney tend to find their form in the second half. They might need a bit of a boost from their coach, Ufuk Talay, at halftime. Might take a halftime talk to really give them a kick. Get them going for the second half. Teague, long ball, but surely Virgos is offside here. Sevenish Mears. Well, we saw him sent off against Central Coast Mariners early in the season after rushing out and taking out Alu Kuwal, but as he was rushing out there, did well to avoid Virgos and had that one clear, but Virgos certainly did look offside as well, didn't he? G'day, Pseudo Intellectual. Hope you're doing well. Says, hey, Lockie, I went to Auckland versus Adelaide. And going to New Zealand to watch the return fixture. Love it. That return fixture is going to be very intense, I'm sure, because my goodness, that game on Wednesday was great. It was a great watch. We did the live watch along for it here on the channel. And Intellectual, I'm sure you enjoyed. The atmosphere was great to see. The crowds at Cooper Stadium this season have been fantastic. Always great watching Adelaide United at home. Wellington Mariners tomorrow. I'm excited, says Timmy. Me too, man. Me too. You got two teams who obviously were very good last season, but a bit below par this time around. So that's a big game tomorrow, isn't it? Two teams looking to push closer to the top 6. Hoping the Mariners get the win. DJ Penno's back in Mariners for the away win. Wolfie here saying either a 2-0 for victory or a 1-1 draw. Don't see Sydney winning after the Raw defeat. Yeah, I mean that result last week for Sydney was just terrible. I mean, just unbelievable. Especially when they were, down, what was it, 4-1. It's incredible, that scoreline that we saw last week. Brisbane Roar, who have been just disastrous. It's just been a disastrous season so far for Brisbane. Finally getting their first win of the campaign last week. 4-3 in the end, away to Sydney. Jets Glory as well, Timmy. That's right. We've got 3 big games tomorrow. Wellington Mariners, Jets Glory, and then Macarthur, Melbourne City. Sunday sees Western Sydney Wanderers host Auckland FC. So you've got a lot of big matches coming up over the next couple of days. We did have a little VAR check in this half, so we might get a couple minutes added on. 2 minutes added on. TJ's back in. MacArthur to win and a draw for the Perth game. Sure, Perth will take a point away to Newcastle. I mean, Newcastle Jets, though. I mean, Newcastle Jets who haven't won at home so far this season. This has to be a win. Tomorrow has to be a win for Newcastle, dude. They have to win. If they have any, there's still a lot of time in the season. Newcastle Jets who have made the finals like once in the past. I can't even remember how many years. I mean, they made the finals, of course. They made the grand final in 2018. But aside from that, they've just consistently finished outside finals. They have an opportunity, still plenty of time, to catch the top 6, and it has to start with a win tomorrow. It has to start with a win against Perth. So it's a big game tomorrow for the Jets. Sydney, again, that's well breaking down. I mean, the Victory's midfield is winning at the moment. Teague and Valadon, fantastic, man. I really rate these guys highly. Exceptional players. Victory building up late in this half here. Rawlins goes down. No free kick. Victory fans wanted it. Here comes Waheem. Little tug back by Teague. Ufuk Tally wasn't now that should be a yellow. Now, if that's a foul, that's a yellow. I'm sorry, but that has to be a yellow card for Teague. I feel like we've seen this a lot this season. Players clearly breaking away and they're not getting booked. Ryan Teague's, I think, got away with one there. How has he not gotten a booking? Now, no, is it not even a foul? I think the whistle's been blown for half time. Now, Ufuk Tale is having a stern word with the referees here. He hasn't headed down the tunnel. Straight to the referees to have a chat here, Ufuk Tale. Sydney FC players also having the conversation. Lachlan Keeve is the referee tonight. Big job for him. But at halftime, the score is 1-0 to Melbourne. Victory, looking to get their season back on track. They haven't won since head coach Patrick Zorbo departed the club. Can they finally get their season back on track? Hey, let's have a look at the stats at halftime. Come from Google here. 8 shots for Victory, just a 4 for Sydney. Sydney with a little bit more possession in this half. Pass accuracy a little bit more for Sydney FC as well. Corners, 2 corners for either side in that first half. Just the 1 yellow card either way as well. So Melbourne Victory, they certainly have looked dangerous going forward in attack. Sydney FC have been exploited. A couple opportunities. Zach De Jesus out of position a couple of times. I'll try and do better there. Sydney FC have been trying. They have shown, decent effort going forward, but it's not quite clicking at the moment. But especially that Victory midfield, I think, have been doing a really good job of winning things in the middle of the park. Valadon and Teague, one of the strongest midfield partnerships in the competition. I think it's worth saying. So let's have a look at the live ladder, folks. Check it out. Melbourne Victory replaced Sydney FC in the top 6. That's how it stands at the moment. So if the result stays as is, Victory will jump up to 5th place on the ladder. You can see that Sydney will drop out to 7th outside the top 6. And of course, I mean, Victory still have the game in hand. I mean, that's the worrying thing for Sydney. If Sydney lose this, they drop out. And look at all the teams below them that have games in hand. I mean, Sydney could lose this and drop out. Even Newcastle Jets have 3 games in hand on Sydney. 3. Hey, let's hope Canberra join the competition soon, because I hate having the buys, man. It makes reading the ladder so frustrating because you've got to take in consideration all the buys and stuff. And also, I don't know why they've structured the buys in a weird way. Like Newcastle Jets have already had already two or three buys already this season. No, I think they've already had 2. Like some teams have had 2. Some teams haven't even had a buy yet, I think, It's pretty crazy at the moment in terms of the buyers and how it's been structured. But anyway, hope that'll all end if we have a 14-team competition. So yeah. LFC says victory looked good. Langerak was solid. This could actually be our first win in weeks. The opportunity is here for Melbourne Victory, man. They cannot let it slip now. 1-0 against rivals Sydney FC. Great opportunity here for victory. And it would be a big confidence booster for Arthur Dillis if they could get the win here tonight. Big confidence booster just to get the fans back on board with what they're doing this season, just to alleviate any pressure on him. Yeah. All right. Hey, if you guys have any questions on anything A-League related, Australian football related, Mariners related, let us know in the live chat. TJ Peno, thanks for joining us in the live chat. As always, TJ says, I can't see Sydney winning in Adelaide next game. Adelaide are the leaders. Yeah, I believe it's a Sydney FC home game, if I'm not mistaken. Let's have a glance at Sydney FC's upcoming fixtures. Matches. Sydney FC coming up after this one. We'll have, where are we? Sydney FC next up hosting Adelaide United. As you can see there, on February 1, these times here are Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Yeah, dude, I do. Tricky matchup there for Sydney. I mean, no one wants to face Adelaide at the moment, as TJ says there, Adelaide leaders. After that, Sydney FC have the derby. I mean, the Sydney derby on Feb 8 at home, and then away to Glory and MacArthur. So, some fascinating fixtures coming up for Sydney FC. So, I mean, they lost to Brisbane week, potential loss on the cards here, and then it's going to be hard to get a positive result against Adelaide with the form they're in. So yeah, it's an interesting one for the Sky Blues at the moment, who now, as things stand, sit outside the top 6. Let's have a look at Victory and their upcoming matches as well. So a win here tonight for Victory will push them into the top 6, and they have Glory away next weekend. And then Jets away, and then Wellington at home. You got 3 winnable games there. Like, this is a crucial matchup. This is a crucial game here for Melbourne Victory. They get a win tonight. This could really kickstart, get the season back on track, and they could potentially get a decent run of wins here against 3 lower ranked teams at the moment in Glory, Jets, and Phoenix. And then that's leading into the Melbourne derby. I mean, they would love to take 4 consecutive wins into a Melbourne derby on Feb 22. Interesting one for Victory. So looking at the run of things for both teams, Melbourne Victory have a better run in the coming weeks. I think that's for sure. That's for sure. TJ says Victory hitting form, 5 in a row coming. 5 in a row on the way, perhaps. So it is 1-0 at halftime. Thanks for joining us here for our live watch along. We were live 48 hours ago as well. We did Adelaide Auckland, which was another crazy game. Hey, what are we saying here? Timmy says Adelaide should win the premiership. Yeah, we were talking about this a little bit on Wednesday night when we were watching that game as well. I feel like Auckland will win the premiership. I think Auckland will win the premiership, but Adelaide might win the championship. And my reasoning for that is we generally see that when it comes to winning a premiership, winning the league, it's a strong defense that helps you quite a lot, right? And Auckland have the best defense in the league. They've only conceded 11 in 13 games. They're so hard to break down, Auckland FC. Adelaide managed to do it twice, but that was really, they didn't have many opportunities in that game, Adelaide. But I think Auckland may well finish the competition top of the table. However, when it comes to a final series, especially with the travel that Auckland may have to do, potentially, Adelaide, with just, at a packed Cooper Stadium, they're just so unpredictable, Adelaide United. So hard to stop. And who knows? Could there be a championship on the cards here for Adelaide United? They haven't won a trophy since 2016. Almost a decade since Adelaide United last won the A-League championship. Of course, Adelaide did win a few Australia Cups, we should acknowledge as well. Goodwin is a big difference. I mean, Archie Goodwin has been fantastic for them this season, man. And we saw his quality coming off the bench, midweek to score that double, didn't we? we saw the way he came on and had that impact. It was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Let's have a look at some of the games coming up this weekend, man, because we were touching on it a little bit earlier, but we've got 4 really fascinating fixtures coming up because it is hard to pick the coming weekend because you've got teams who are sort of close to each other on the ladder mostly. You got Wellington Mariners, again, 2 teams who have struggled so far this season. Have shown good signs in some games here and there. You've got Wellington, who have won a few games this season. You got Mariners, who won 3-1 away to Wanderers last week. This will be a fascinating matchup. And these 2 teams obviously were jostling for top position last year. So look, fingers crossed Mariners get the win tomorrow. Jets host Glory. Again, like that has to be a winning game, I think, for Jets. Look, Perth Glory looking to sort of turn things around. They've made a few new signings already. Lockie Wales, Patrick Wood, a couple of players from Japan as well. They're starting to sort of rebuild things a little bit. Mini rebuild, I think, middle of the season here for Perth Glory. I mean, they would love to really sort of kickstart things with a win here against Newcastle Jets. Macarthur SC hosts Melbourne City. It's a tricky one to pick. I don't think I could see a lot of people tipping City. But I feel like the Bulls at home, I mean, well, you don't know what you're going to get. Bulls have been one of these teams so far this year who have struggled for consistency, but they have shown multiple times this year that they are a quality side, they have quality players, and they're capable of tearing any defense apart. So that'll be an interesting one to watch as well. And then Sunday Arvo, again, these times are all Australian Eastern Daylight Time, New South Wales time. Wanderers host Auckland. That surely, well, I shouldn't say surely, but I do think it does favour a win for Auckland. I mean, they are obviously a lot higher on the ladder. It will be interesting, though, because you've got one of the best attacks in the competition coming up against one of the best defences. Wanderers have scored a lot of goals this season through Borello, through Milanovic. And you've got Auckland FC, who have just been a rock solid at the back for most of the campaign. Could be a fun game to watch. TJ's back in Wanderers to win. I mean, you never know. I mean, this season has thrown up some big surprises. I mean, we did see Glory defeat Auckland a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, I mean, it could happen. It could happen. Could happen, TJ. So, 4 big games coming up. Midweek next week as well. January 29. Western hosting Mariners. Another away game for Mariners. Before next round, some interesting matchups because I know we got the F3 Derby the following weekend as we enter February. Brisbane hosts Wanderers, Auckland Macarthur. Sydney, of course, with that tricky matchup against Adelaide. F3 Derby before Glory host Victory. Yeah. Interesting matches coming up this weekend, hey? Timmy says Mariners will draw with Western. I think I would take a draw against Western. Again, dude, let's look at the ladder because Western, again, have just been the surprise team this season. Really, really impressive. Shahan and Isha, welcome. Welcome to the live chat. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, man, Western. They've been seriously a surprise to me this season. I don't think anyone expected them to be a top 4 team at this stage after 14 games. 7 wins, 3 draws, 4 losses. They've been good. They've been very, very good. TJ asks, when are the next international games? I believe in March. Socceroos are back in qualifiers in March. They got home to Indonesia and away to China, I believe, in March. Our next game's coming up. Socceroos hosting Indonesia at Allianz Stadium in Sydney, which is, I think, probably on the way to selling out. But yeah, March. A bit of a wait for the Socceroos to return. So plenty of time for some players in the A-League to pick up their form and make their case for a Socceroos call-up. Yeah. Do you think Australia will qualify? I think so. I think we will have enough to grab second place. Yeah, I think we do. I think we will have enough to grab second place. It's obviously pretty tricky at the moment in regards to the situation in the ladder. I'll pull it up in just a sec, because we've got so many teams so close to each other in the standings at the moment. Socceroos, hey, it's been a pretty crazy qualifying campaign up to this point, hasn't it? Hasn't it? Here's a look at the table at the moment in qualifying for Australia. Currently second in the standings. You can see Japan surely secured their place now for the World Cup. They will not be stopped. They are a fantastic team. But it's just been incredible. Look at these standings, man. Australia on 7, and then you got the rest of the 4 other teams on 6 points. I mean, it's incredible, the qualifying campaign that we've seen pan out so far. But soccer is 1 win, 4 draws, 1 loss. I still think we will have enough to qualify for the World Cup. Yeah. Need to at least win the couple home games we have remaining. But a couple tricky away games coming up too. So it's been really tricky to predict this qualifying campaign, but I still think we will have enough. A lot of guys having great seasons so far. We're pushing for Socceroos call-ups. And I'm sure we'll see some new ones. I'm sure we'll see some new call-ups for March. I think we will. So the second half is about to get underway here in the Big Blue. Jordan Courtney-Perkins looks like he's on the field. Jordan Courtney-Perkins possibly on for Joel King. We'd expect a straight swap there at left back. Keep an eye on that. What about New Zealand? Well, with the new qualifying format, yeah, I think we'd expect New Zealand to qualify, hey? I think that's the expectation, so I think they will. TJ says we need Suter at the international level. Sheffield United really missed him. They've lost 4 in a row after it. There you go. There you go. Missing Big Harry. We love Big Harry Suter. What a legend. Hey, second half is back on, folks. Melbourne victory 1. Sydney FC 1. Nil. Sydney FC nil. Can the Sky Blues make a comeback in the second half? That's the question. I appreciate you guys joining us for tonight's live watch along of the Big Blue, one of the biggest fixtures in the A-League. It is 2 of the biggest clubs in the competition. Hit the like button, support the channel. You can also consider sending in a super chat to support here the live stream. This is our second live watch along of the week. We were live a couple of days ago for Adelaide United, Auckland SC. We're all about creating a fun community of like-minded Australian football fans. Closely, of course, following the A-League as well as the Australian national teams. Is that Joel King who's still on the field? Let's see. Well, Zach De Jesus looks like he's been the man substituted. He has. He is off. Ryan Grant. That's right. Well, this is interesting. You'd expect Joel King. Looks like Joel King's playing right back, folks. Joel King, left-footed Joel King. Usually left back can play centre back as well. Courtney Perkins can also play centre back, but it looks like they're eager to keep Ryan Grant there. You'd surely expect Ryan Grant to shift over to right back and maybe King or Courtney Perkins come into centre back, but Ufuk Talay must be pretty eager to keep Grant at centre back because Joel King, left back, is over on the right. Can you rate Auckland FC's most recent game? I'm not sure exactly what you mean by rate, but in terms of my reaction to it, it was a fun watch. It was a fun game to watch, some controversial moments. I think Auckland FC, I think the draw felt like a fair result in the end. Auckland FC did a very good job of nullifying Adelaide, but credit to the Reds to fighting till the end. And then Auckland FC with that crazy late equaliser, hey? Hunter here says New Zealand seems like it'll be a shoo-in for every FIFA World Cup for at least the next 3 to 4 tournaments. Yeah, surely. Surely they've the strongest teams in the Oceania Conference Federation. Here's Joe Lolly, folks. Edge of the box for Sydney FC. A few minutes into this first half, Sky Blues looking to get themselves level. Wolfie says, I was right to be nervous about this game. Sydney FC, what are you doing? Says Wolfie. Can Fiji qualify for the World Cup without Krishna? We love Roy Krishna, A-League legend, Wellington Phoenix legend from a while ago now. Over 10 years ago, I think, when Krishna was in Phoenix. Hey, that'd be fun to see Fiji at a World Cup. We'd love that. Joe Lolly down the right with a bit of space. Crossing. But Victory's defence have done very well tonight, and that's Roderick Miranda again in the road. Well done, Roderick Miranda. Captain of Melbourne Victory is Miranda. He's been a good addition to the A-League, Miranda. He's been here for a few years now at Victory, and this is a guy who's previously played football at now Premier League club, Wolves. Portuguese centre-back. Tall, strong defender, great leadership. He's been pretty consistent over the few years that he has been in the A-League. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is his 4th year, right? Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but 4th year. If we could avoid any spamming in the chat, that would be greatly appreciated. Thanks, folks. Thank you. So, Sydney FC with the one change at the break. Courtney Perkins on for De Jesus. Courtney Perkins over at left back. King at right back. When the bench gets unleashed, Victory will finish strong, says Timmy. They are a tough team for this league. I mean, when they're clicking, when they're going, Victory, they are certainly one of the most dangerous teams in the league, and should be high on the ladder, considering the quality that they do have. Hey, TJ here mentions Bruno and Arzani. Yeah, I'm sure we'll see those guys involved at some point. Piscopo maybe as well. Decent players to have on the bench. Hey. Sky Blues really on the front foot in this second half. Hey, Joe Lolly curling one in. There's a great cross. Great defensive header. I think it was Rawlins. And Victory will counter here. Long ball by Santos and Devonish Mears. Ooh. Almost caught out there, but Sydney back in control. So I think this will be what we'll see for the time being in this game. Sky Blues with a lot of the ball, and here comes Segacic. Oh, Adrian Segacic forcing a save out of Mitch Langerak. It will be a corner for the away team. Yeah, I think we will see a lot more possession for Sky Blues. That'll continue to rise. Victory, as we saw even just there a moment ago, as soon as they get the ball, looking to spring forward. Looking to hit on the counter-attack. Waheem with another delivery. Again, a defensive header. I think it was Hamill again. Dude, this Victory defense have been nearly flawless tonight. The way they've covered the back line and made their blocks and clearances. Really well positioned as well. It's been impressive. They've had to work hard. You've got a good sort of quartet of attacking players there. Sydney FC. Lolly on the right. Segacic on the left. Waheem, Klamala Here is Klamala. Again, the pass is blocked, and we're seeing this a lot. It's just coming unstuck at the moment for Sydney FC. They have to try something different. I'm not sure what it is, but it's going to take more to break down this stubborn Melbourne Victory backline. That is what we've learned so far. Almost 55 minutes of football. Sekic's delivery, but again, like no one's there. I'll tell you what, they're certainly racking up the corners now, Melbourne Victory. Newey Jets, always great to see Newey Jets here. Hope you're doing well. It says this has been very end-to-end. Sydney improving in the second half, but have to be wary of Victory on the break, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Fifth corner of the game here for Sydney. Nice delivery. Victory, deal with it yet again. Melbourne Victory showing Sydney SC how to defend a bloody corner. Of course, Nikos Virgos scoring with a beautiful header in the first half from the corner. Again, great scenes in that Sydney FC away bay. Packed full of fans. Great numbers. We have had, look, there's always a lot of discussion around crowds in the A-League. We have had some really decent numbers this season. I mean, even last Saturday, on Saturday, all three games, the crowds were in 5 figures, which is great for the A-League. That is good. All 3 games had the crowds were in 5 figures. In Sydney, what was it? Sydney, in Auckland, and where was the other one? In Adelaide, the original rivalry, of course. Sydney, Auckland, and Adelaide all had 5-figure crowds. So, and I'm sure this crowd is probably not quite cracking 20,000. Probably just a bit below that, I'd guess, looking at the crowd. Leo Senna on the ball for Sydney. Again, they're just trying to find the road through. It's a little bit too physical from Nikos Virgos there. He's giving away a cheap foul. Free kick in an interesting position here for Sydney FC. Newey Jess asks, do you think we will see Arzani and Reno introduced at the same time? We do often see that Victory make double, sometimes triple substitutions. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe around the hour mark or 70th minute, something like that. We may well see both wingers subbed off. And we do see that a lot from Victory. Hey, the wingers swapped out. It's a pretty common thing. What's our prediction for this game? Tell you what, Victory at this rate are winning this, I think. With how they've been holding up defensively so far, Sydney might struggle to break them down. But having said that, Sydney FC are going to get more and more desperate as this game goes on. They might be coming closer to snatching an equaliser here. So this free kick, sort of mid-range free kick here. Let's see what Sydney can produce here. Waheem, well, this is a set play. Grant's kept it in. No, he hasn't. Little set play there. Interesting one. Just didn't work out. Yeah. Newey Jets' centre has so much strength on the ball. Yeah, look, he's a great player. He's a fantastic player. I think he's been a great addition to the A-League. They've just shown the win probability percentage on the broadcast, 70% for Victory. Only 8% for Sydney. That feels a little low. I mean, it's gonna take a lot for Sydney to come back and win. That's should be said, but 8% feels like a little bit too low. Hey, it's a little bit too low. TJ asks, will the MCG host an A-League club? It's a good field. I don't know. I mean, it's just too big. I mean, well, not just in terms of like the capacity, but in terms of the field itself, right? Yeah, I'm very much a fan of. Playing at the rectangular stadiums. I think that's what we all want. It's a better experience, a better atmosphere, isn't it? Yeah. Hey, look, I mean, it is a decent spectacle when we do see clubs come over from Europe and the MCG gets sold out. Nearly 100,000 fans watching a game of football. But yeah, just prefer it at the rectangular stadiums, of course. Sky Blues again on the attack here, dudes. Trying to find a way forward. They're going to Joe Lolly quite a lot on that right-hand side, trying to get him more involved in the game. It's a good move from Sydney FC. He's been very, very good for a lot of this season. Needs to step up for his team here, man. Of course, Douglas Costa's still out injured at the moment. Here's a chance of victory. Santos trying to break away, but Corny Perkins. Crucial intervention. They're showing the stats on the broadcast, passes in the opposition half, final third entries, all these numbers favouring Sydney FC greatly. It really sums up the story so far in the second half. Victory have had barely anything going forward. It's been the Sky Blues who have been really pushing things here. But again, another long ball that goes out of play. It's just not coming together at the moment for Sydney. After almost an hour of football in Melbourne, Sky Blues in danger of dropping out of the top 6 here. Lupulay, good run. Great run here for Lupulay. This is superb. He's fed in behind Casey Boss. He will slow it down. Back to Lupulay. There's Zinedine Machash. Oh, tight angle, but across the face of goal, still on for victory. This is nervy, man. This is nervy moments for Sydney. They do not want to go 2 goals down. Santos, great run, Santos. Crucial block by Corey Holman getting back to defend. A victory over corner. Santos hyping up the crowd. Here we go. Victory haven't had much going forward in the second half, but they've got a great chance here from this corner. TJ says here, Langarek has not been doing much. Yeah, he hasn't had much to do. He had a couple interventions in that first half. A couple claims of the ball, but not too much going on. So victory. Short corner. Lots. Delivery. Teague swings it in. A bit too deep though. Oh, but it falls from Miranda, who sends that one into the stands. Timmy says, Matt Ryan signed with that French club. Yes. Hopefully he gets game time before March. Yeah, I mean, we hope so. I hope so. TJ says Ryan will get good game time in France. Yeah. We hope so, hey. He's obviously, look, made the move to Roma. Exciting move, obviously. You got a, big club, big Italian club, AS Roma. But he played 1 game. So, if this guy is still going to be Australia's starting goalkeeper, we love Matty Ryan, man. Absolute legend. If he's keen to be Socceroos starting goalkeeper going forward, he has to be playing games. And that goes for the other guys. That goes for Joe Gauci, of course, who's hasn't had too much of a look in at Aston Villa. Paul Izzo's been getting some decent game time over in Denmark, of course. Yeah. Yes, Newey Jets should be there. Miranda skied that. Yeah, he did, didn't he? He did. So we have played over an hour of football now in the Big Blue, and it is Victory who maintain a lead, but a slender lead. It should be worth mentioning. But it is a lead, nonetheless. Nonetheless, Holman for Waheem. Here comes Sydney. It's almost frustrating to watch at this point. Waheem, great player, top player. Just the pass just wasn't the right one. But again, it's credit to Victory in the way they've set up defensively. And they're almost playing with a back 5 at the moment, Melbourne Victory. The way that the wingers are dropping back at times. Second half possession on the broadcast, they just showed the stats, 77% for Sydney. What can Sky Blues do here? It's bouncing around. Waheem trying to poke one in and a little bit late on Miranda. He's gone down rolling around here. Roderick Miranda. If he's rolling around like that, he must be pretty badly hurt. Waheem was clearly going in for the ball there, but just caught Miranda, who was flying it as well. Ooh, I tell you what. The challenge didn't look good from Waheem. I mean, he had no idea Miranda was arriving, but it's a yellow card, actually. Yellow card's been given to Waheem. On the replay, the contact did not look great and borderline studs up. Wolfie says 77% possession is crazy. Victory's defense must be really good. Yeah, I mean, they're showing their quality tonight. Daniel Azani getting ready to come on the sidelines, and they've just cut to Tony Popovic up in the stands. Tony Popovic, Socceroos head coach in Amy Park to watch this one. Of course, Popovic coached many games in this round. Coached Melbourne Victory for the last few years. Sky Blues, for all their effort, for all their trying, they haven't really created too many clear-cut opportunities. They've had a lot of the ball, but they're struggling to break through this stubborn Victory backline. Tony! Melbourne Victory, man. We said it before the game. This is an important match for them. And with the run of fixtures they have coming up against some lower-ranked teams, no disrespect, but Glory, Jets, Wellington at home, winnable games. Winnable games for a club like Melbourne Victory. So there is a chance that Victory do return to the top 4 of the ladder. Substitution here for Melbourne Victory, Nishan Valupale, who's been very good tonight, coming off for Daniel Azani. Timmy says Hamill is going to be a chance to get picked for Australia. Hamill makes it hard for Sydney because he is such a solid defender. He's been very good tonight, and he has been very good this season. And I'll tell you what, Timmy, it's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout. Timmy also says that Hamill was good at Western Sydney Wanderers, yes. And he even featured for Melbourne Heart back in the day, I believe, as well. Brendan Hamill, I mean, it's a decent shout. It's a decent shout. I don't mind it. The great thing with the Socceroos is that it does feel quite competitive at the moment in terms of selection. A lot of players that Tony Popovic has to choose from. A lot of players. But obviously, I guess it helps Hamill, the fact that the Socceroos maybe these days playing with 3 central defenders. And we should point out the fact that, of course, Harry Sutar, we expect he'll be out for Socceroos qualifiers in March. He's sustained that unfortunate injury a few weeks back, Harry Sutar, so he'll be out for a little while. So for March, maybe that does open the door for someone like Brendan Hamill, who is having a very solid season. So, yeah. But shot from range. Straight into the hands of Devonish Mears. Here we go, Waheem. Chance for... what is that? What is that from Anas Waheem? Is he about to be subbed off, Sydney, bringing on Thiago Quintal and Josh Sotirio? But that from Anas Waheem was just ridiculous. Just sending the ball like 30 meters, 40 meters clear of the goal. What was that effort from Anas Waheem? So Klamala is off and Segicic is off. Interesting changes here from Ufuk Talay, wanting something different from his players, something different from his team. So here's the setup. Now, this is interesting. And I keep an eye on how Sydney FC are lining up now. It looks like Joe Lolly is going to play as striker. Now, if my memory serves me correctly, that is what we saw in the last Big Blue back in December. Joe Lolly. Because Klamala was out for that game, right? Joe Lolly did play as a striker in that game and scored a brace against Victory last time out. Maybe Ufuk Talay is remembering that performance and wanting to shake it up here. So Lolly looks like he's shifted to the striker position. Josh Sotirio playing on the right flank. Thiago Quintal playing on the left-hand side by the looks of things at the moment. Newer Jets says I wouldn't have taken Klamala off. I think I agree with you, Newer Jets. Yeah, I do agree with you. Klamala hasn't done anything really wrong in this match. He's had a couple of moments getting forward. He just hasn't really gotten the service, hey? He hasn't really gotten the service. So this new setup for Sydney FC, will it bring them more success? Sotirio, nice pass around for King, but he's offside. He's offside. Time is running out for Sydney FC. The clock is ticking. Long ball for Boss. He won't get that. Now, Boss has just kicked the ball back on the field there. That's a yellow card for sure. Wow, referee's not booking him. That's got to be a card, right? You guys see that? Casey Boss chasing the ball that was going out of play. The ball went out of play, and then he went and kicked that ball straight back onto the field. So to delay the restart, Lachlan Keevers just went and had a quick word to him. But that just has to be booking, just straight up, right? It just has to be booking. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that kind of thing? It's like basically cheating, isn't it? Delaying the play intentionally like that just should be a straight yellow card, no question about it. Holman forward for Waheem. Sotirio loops it over for Joel King, who's playing it right back in the second half. King. Ooh, Langrak with a punch. Waheem, Lolly over the bar. I tell you what, that was probably Sydney FC's best chance in this game up to this point, dude. It probably was, wasn't it? Joe Lolly. The ball fell for him. You can see he just slipped. He just slipped at the crucial moment. Slipped at the crucial moment there. TJ Penner says, good tactic from Sydney coach. He has to roll the dice because Sydney not looking like very likely. Yeah. Keen for these final 20 minutes as Newer Jets. Yep. Feels like there might be another goal in it, I reckon. Hard to say who for, but it could well be one more. Because, of course, Sydney are just going to continue to push you, man. Sydney are going to continue to drive forward. And they're going to leave. They're going to leave gaps exposed at the back, and that might make way for Victory to go and score a second. So looks like Victory here preparing a couple of changes. Brendan Hamill is being treated. Young defender Joshua Insera is ready to come on. Looks like Bruno Fornaroli was also being prepared. New Jets wants to see Renault, of course, former Newcastle Jets player himself, Renault Piscopo. He also says Lolly knows how to position himself well. If they put the ball at his feet, they could upset Victory. Yeah, well, he had the opening there. I mean, they put him in that striker position, and he already had an opportunity. Unfortunately for him, he did slip at the crucial moment. But we'll see. We'll see if it works for Sydney. Maybe challenge on Thiago Quintal. He's surprised he didn't get the free kick. And here comes Victory on the right. No. Azani's on the field. Pass goes forward, but Devonish Mears out to claim. Again, Victory showing, like, how quick do Victory go, though? I mean, they're so good when they know their game plan. Ooh. Thought there was going to be a little coming together there, but little bear hug on the ground between Waheem and Virgos competing with each other. Virgos just bundling Waheem over there. 20 minutes left. Interesting finish. That's right, Wolfie. That's right. Sure, we're set for an interesting final phase of this game. Appreciate you guys tuning in for this live watch along, man. I really do. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. It's very rare that Lolly doesn't get a goal, says TJ. He's still the top goal scorer this season, if I'm not mistaken, right? You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. 8 goals, I think, right? No more watch-alongs for this weekend, but definitely keen to keep the watch-alongs coming, man. Definitely looking at doing some next week. Actually, we may well be doing a watch-along for Western United against Mariners on Wednesday next week. So that may well be the next one on Wednesday. Haven't done a Mariners watch-along on, I don't think, this season, have we? We just says Santos injured. Bring Reno on now. I mean, yep, there he is. He's getting prepared. So Piscopo's getting ready to come on. Fornaroli's there as well. All right. So Nikos Virgos, goal scorer tonight, he is coming off the field. Decent shift from Virgos, who scored a lovely. That's a great goal, man. The header that he scored was fantastic. The way he got up and directed the ball, the underside of the crossbar, spectacular header. They're showing the replays of that goal. Lovely stuff from Virgos, who's, I think he's enjoying life in the A-League, man. He's got a few goals this season. He's off. And it looks like Santos is indeed coming off for Reno Piscopo. Piscopo, again, another guy who's having a good year at Victory. Another guy who has Socceroos aspirations, I'm sure. He was out with a little injury last time around. What players to bring on? That's right, Newey. I mean, that's why I keep saying Victory have the best squad depth in the league, dude. Like a lot of teams, like, you know, have to rely on like younger players, like youth players to come off the bench, which is great. We want our young players getting plenty of game time. But Melbourne Victory have like some serious quality. Like almost all of the players on Victory's bench could start in any other A-League team. I mean, they've got Adama Traore there as well. Fabian Monge is a quality midfielder. I mean, Bruno Fornaroli's just come on. Like, Lolly's header. Oh! Another good chance for Sydney. Another good chance for Sydney. Lolly with a header, and it goes wide. Marcus says the goal is coming for Sydney. That wasn't far away. Dude, Langerak, I mean, maybe he knew that was going wide. But, dude, I tell you what, that wasn't far off. That wasn't far off. And, look, we're questioning the move by Ufuk Talay to bring Patrick Komala off and shift Joe Lolly into that striker position. He's already had 2 efforts that have not been far away. And as Micah says, there's the goal coming for Sydney FC. Well, they're getting closer. Sydney FC are getting closer. Melbourne Victory, who've been very good in this game, defensively very well disciplined. Well, it's just a 1-goal lead on the scoreboard. And all it takes is one moment in football. That's the beauty of this game. Here comes Lolly, the cross, looking for Sotirio. Well cut out. And the flag is up. All it takes is one moment. Jaden Kaczarski, I mean, I tell you what, if Sydney are still looking for this comeback goal here, for this equaliser, you got to look at someone like Jaden Kaczarski. He's got a cracker off the bench against Brisbane early on in the season. So in terms of an impact player, Kaczarski surely will be introduced if Sydney still trail. Tom says Lolly through the middle is too dangerous not to play him as a striker for at least the next couple of games, in my opinion. Yeah, look, we've seen it a couple times this season now, haven't we? Lolly go into that central position, and it's going to be interesting to see sort of what happens with Klamala then. Like, is there a way they can play them both as strikers together, or Does Klamala get dropped to the bench and maybe they start Lolly through the middle? I mean, Lolly's been he's been the goal machine this year, hasn't he? He's been scoring goals this year. TJ says there's always space at the back post for headers. I'm surprised it is not practiced as much and applied in games. Wolfie asks, if Victory win, where does that leave Sydney FC? 6th or 7th? Well, Wolfie, glad you asked. Let's look at the ladder right now. Sydney FC live ladder sees them dropping into 7th, 21 points, just behind MacArthur on goal difference. But the big thing is, here's the bad news for Sydney FC, is that they drop out of the top 6 and all the teams around them have games in hand of them. Wanderers and Phoenix and Mariners all now have 2 games in hand on Sydney. Jets have 3 games in hand on Sydney. It's just incredible. It's just incredible. So this would be a second consecutive loss here for Sydney, who obviously had that shocking defeat last week at home to Brisbane Roar, that 4-3 loss, which was just a real stunning result. 2 hours our clock passed in our watch along right now. Appreciate you guys joining for our live watch alongs here. As always, we've been doing these for, I've lost track now, 3, 4, 5 years now. And it's always great to see regular faces tuning in. Always great to see new viewers tuning in, whether you've been tuning in for, whether this is your first live stream or whether you've been watching us since the early days. Greatly appreciate you guys. That's why we do it. All about building community, a fun community of like-minded football fans. And we have 10 minutes remaining in Big Blue. 2 of the biggest teams in the competition meeting tonight at Amy Park. Victory set to return to the top 6 as it stands, unless Sydney FC make a. Oh, Joe Lolly's just gone down in back play. We just saw Joe Lolly go down. Is he all right? He's all right. He's up. I was worried he did a hammy there or something. Joel King, long switch of play. Don't mind it. Looking for Courtney Perkins. Can't find him. Gaps are opening up. Victory can go here. Piscopo, nice work. Doesn't manage to get a throw though, but tell you what, Victory may well be able to grab a second here. It's got that feeling about it, doesn't it? May well open up for Victory the way they've been looking so dangerous on the counter-attack. Mitch Langerak, his first start for Melbourne Victory tonight for this season. His first start for Victory in 15 years. Is it set to end in a clean sheet? That would be the perfect way to return to victory for Mitch Langerak. Timmy, with a big statement here, says Sydney have defined their season tonight. They can't win this league this season. They've been dropping too many points this season, dude. They've been losing winnable games. I mean, the loss against Brisbane last week was just unacceptable. But yeah, it's been hurting a lot of teams around the middle of the table. So many teams are struggling for consistency. Like they've shown us at times this year that Sydney, like when they're clicking, they are a top team. They are hard to stop, and they've got good players in attack. Defensively, they're just got to sort it out. They need to make more defensive signings. That's a clear, I think, priority, I think, for Sydney in this transfer window. But yeah, I can't see Sydney winning the league this year. I agree with you there, Timmy. Soterio, the substitute, has it on the right. Cross, deflected. Waheem can't do anything with it. He clears. So we're in the final 10 minutes here, folks. We're in the final stages. I mean, if I'm a Sydney FC fan, I am screaming Jaden Kaczarski. Super sub. He's done it earlier this season. He did it in the Sydney derby last year. This guy knows how to make an impact in games. You need to get Jay Kaczarski onto the field. He's warming up behind the goal. You can see him right now. warming up behind that goal where this corner is about to be taken. 6th corner of the game for Sydney FC. None of them have proven threatening in any way. Waheem's delivery is not bad, but there's Machash with the clearance. Victory have been incredible, the way that they've gotten to the balls first. They've made the clearances. And here come Victory on the break. It's 3v2. It's Daniel Arzani for Fornaroli. The pass was too heavy. And Piscopo is screaming, "Hey, bro, I'm out here." Reno Piscopo was unmarked on the right, man. Reno Piscopo was unmarked. Needed to go to him there. You could see what Arzani was thinking. Just wanted that little sneaky pass through for Fornaroli, but Piscopo had way more space, dude. Late challenge from Arzani on Senna. Leo Senna hasn't quite been able to influence this game as much as maybe he would have liked. It's been Teague and Valadon who've been, I think, winning the midfield battle in this game. Big games coming up over the weekend. Wellington Mariners tomorrow. Newcastle Jets looking for the first home win of the season against Glory. And MacArthur SC play in Melbourne City Sunday. Sees Western Sydney Wanderers host Auckland FC. Huge games coming up, man. We are looking to do our next live watch along next week on Wednesday night. Western United playing Mariners. Come on, you yellow. So if you don't want to miss any watch alongs here on the channel, hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. Sydney FC continuing to commit numbers forward, looking to find something from this game. It's got to be a foul on Arzani, surely. Wow. Wolfie says either Adelaide or City win it this season. I don't see Auckland winning it in their first season. I mean, it would be huge, wouldn't it? Yeah. As I was sort of saying before, we're discussing it a bit at halftime. Hey, I feel like Auckland might win the premiership. They might win the league because their defense is just so good. That defense might help them win the premiership. But in terms of the championship, the big one, the toilet seat, that could well be someone like Adelaide United with the way it stands at the moment. Hey, yeah. Timmy says Mariners can win that United game. Hey, that'd be a huge result for Mariners. If we could win away to Western, who've been good this season. Marcus says we are missing Caceres and Costa. Substitutions here for both teams. Fabian Monge is coming on to replace Jordi Valadon. Corey Holman is being removed, and he will be replaced by Jaden Kaczarski. That is an attacking move. That's a very, very attacking move. So it looks like they're playing with one number 6. It looks like Jay Kaczarski was just gesturing to Leo Senna that they're going to play with one number 6. And it looks like that. Look at the Sydney FC attack here. They've got so many forward players now. Sotirio, Lolly, Kaczarski. And what is that from Sotirio? Just sending that, not for the first time tonight. Sydney FC player, edge of the box. And they just sky it. Nowhere near the goal. Sotirio gets on the ball there and lobs it 30 meters clear of the goal. The shot accuracy from Sydney FC tonight has been disastrous, isn't it? Let's have a quick glance at the stats because 6 shots, 1 on target. That sums it up for Sydney FC. They've lacked the quality in front of goal. And they're going to need more. If they want to play finals this season, Sydney FC, they need more. And they're not showing it. They haven't shown it tonight. You can see Ufuk is not happy. They just showed him on the camera. He's not going to be happy with his performance, man. Not going to be happy. What's my guess for the crowd? It's hard to tell because we haven't had a real full look at the crowd. I'm going to guess I'm going to say something like 17,000. 17,000. That's my guess. Waheem. So it looks like Waheem and Tiago Quintal sort of playing as 2 creative midfielders. Leo Senna sitting deeper. Let's pull up the live ladder in these final moments. This is how it looks, folks. This is how it looks. Victory set to these two teams just swapping places in the ladder now, hey? Victory set to return to the top 6, and this is an important win here for Victory if they can hold on. Melbourne Victory have not won a game since coach Patrick Kisnorbo departed the club. This is a huge confidence booster for current coach Arthur Dillis and Melbourne Victory. For Sydney FC, they will slip out of the top 6. Now on centre. Up the Victory, says B team. Timmy says it's amazing what a good defence can do in a game. They've shown their quality tonight, haven't they? Melbourne Victory at the back, so well organised, so well disciplined. Made so many crucial interventions. Kaczarski has to go backwards. Long ball for Sydney. They don't really have, again, like they went for that long ball there, Sydney, but it's not going to help them because they don't have Patrick Lamela up there who's good at winning those aerial duels. Oh, here's Fornaroli behind. Bruno to win it, to seal it. Bruno scores. Melbourne Victory are winning the Big Blue. Bruno Fornaroli, the shirt is off. The jersey's off. Celebrating in front of the Victory fans. 2-0. And right to the death. They're going to seal it. And look at the celebrations. Look at what it means to Melbourne Victory. So important. Their winless run has really been hurting them. But the long ball finds Fornaroli around Devonish Mears. The calmness, the composure, showing his experience in that situation there to round the keeper, to hold off the defence and to finish. Fornaroli scores. Victory 2, Sydney 0. And Wolfie drops it here, saying, unfortunately, Sydney's season is over. Up the Victory, says Shahana. Newey Jet says, what is Devonish Mears doing, man? It is Bruno Fornaroli who seals it in the end. Dude, I said it. I was worried. I was worried for Sydney, man. I was like, Sydney committing numbers forward. They've got so many attackers on the pitch. We're going to leave these gaps open at the back. And Victory have exploited that space. And Bruno Fornaroli, who has scored so many A-League goals, has grabbed a crucial sealer here at the end of the Big Blue. Victory will return to the top 6. Sydney sit in a precarious position outside the top 6, and all the teams around them have games in hand in them. Sydney, if they don't turn things around quickly, they could see themselves slip down the ladder. Bruno is the GOAT. He's performed so well in the A-League for so many years now. Now a Socceroo, of course, Bruno Fornaroli. And I tell you what, Tony Popovich, Socceroos head coach, is in attendance watching this game. Huge. Absolutely huge. Marcus asks, where is Max Burgess? He hasn't played all season. Yeah, I mean, that's been a big one. A big talking point among Sydney FC fans I've seen. No, Max Burgess. There's been a lot of rumours surrounding Burgess that he might be heading to another A-League club. Just hasn't been given a look in, eh? Out of favour at Sydney. Maybe they could have used someone like Max Burgess tonight. Sydney FC continuing to commit numbers forward. 5 minutes of added time. Not long left. Not long left. And Sydney FC just looking for something here at the end. Again, they let it slip. Victory away again. Azan, terrible pass. Fornaroli Got the pass wrong there for Arzani. Oh boy. Oh boy. Timmy says West Sydney Wanderers will leap Sydney this week. I mean, they have the opportunity to do so. If Wanderers grab a big win, it'll take a win by a few goals too over Auckland on Sunday. They could jump ahead of Sydney and still with the game in hand. Huge. So there's an opportunity for Wanderers this weekend. Soterio on the left. Terrible cross. What is going on? Sydney have been so poor in attacking this game. Just a complete lack of quality. The deliveries, the shots, everything. Like, they've had a lot of possession and stuff and a lot of territory, but just not doing anything with it. Not producing anything of quality. And this is going to hurt Sydney FC this season. This is going to be, I mean, not only that, but their shaky defensive record is going to be why they may well miss out on finals this season. A team who are just a star-studded side, especially in attack. Entering the final minute of this game. I mean, we talk about Victoria's 2 goals, Virgos and Fornaroli, the 2 strikers scoring, but the heroes, I think, have been at the back for Melbourne Victory. Miranda's been superb. Hamill's been fantastic. That entire back four, plus Mitch Langerak, his first start in over 15 years for Victory. Incredible. So well disciplined, so well organised, nullifying Sydney FC, not giving them the clear-cut opportunities. Melbourne Victory. This is the kind of performance that has brought them success. Well, brought them, decent finishes on the ladder, at least, in recent years. They need to return to this kind of form if they want to compete with the best, compete with the top teams this season. And this win sees them return to the top 6. It's been a fascinating Big Blue battle. It really has been. It really has been. Appreciate you guys tuning in, man. It's been a fun watch. Arzani, almost for 3. It's cleared away. Make sure to hit the like button on the way out. Always appreciate you guys tuning in. And make sure you subscribe if you're not already to stay up to date to all our live watch-alongs here. I hope you guys enjoy the upcoming weekend of A-League football. 3 games tomorrow, 1 on Sunday. Melbourne Victory 2. Sydney FC 0. Full time at Amy Park. Almost. Surely it is now. Sydney with a deep free kick. I'm not sure why we're still playing, though. We are well past. The allotted 5 minutes. But Melbourne Victory, what a crucial 3 points. What a crucial 3 points. Full time. Melbourne Victory, what a win for them. Back on track with 3 points here, returning to the top 6. And for Sydney FC, real concern for them now. 2 consecutive losses, dropping out of the top 6. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. My name's Lockie. This is Coast Word Football. Stay subscribed to keep up to date to our live watch-alongs. Enjoy your weekend of A-League football. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.